Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today it is absolutely my pleasure to have a comic book in front of me. And it's actually been 2 weeks since I've had a comic book, and I know this was released last week, so I've got to apologize to some extent, but also I was trying to be supportive to my local comic store who were having trouble with these comics coming in. So I didn't know when I was going to next get a comic, but today I have a comic, so very, very happy. And this is issue 7. Now, this issue, if I just set my camera a little bit better, is about what happened several X months ago when they came across the Iron Giant, as it's been called. So Scott Summers lost Krakoa. His wife's gone out to space. He's drinking some crappy beer in his family's cabin, looking at a Sentinel factory that was destroyed by the Avengers. And Magneto has come to talk to him because there is no victories for him right now. And he's looking at the bottom of the barrel. So, writer Jed MacKay, penciler Netho, Diaz, Inkers, Sean Parsons, and Lifesay. And then we've got all the cast there, which is standard. They're not obviously all in this. So Piper Cobb has come to confirm if she is a mutant, and that is because she believed that the Sentinel that was there was after her. So meanwhile, back several months ago, Scott is behaving like Logan, but unlike Logan, Scott doesn't have lots of years to have that sort of luxury. And so Magneto is reminding him of the usual mission that comes with him, that he is the first X-Man and the first one that should be leading his people, etc. And, you know, and Scott's angry. He's lost Krakoa. He believed in that island. He believed in that place. He believed in the people. And he's lost it. So he's a little bit on, you know, down because he's lost everything. And then, obviously, Magneto reminds him, you know, I didn't ask to be sent to the camps for being a Jew or even being a mutant. So, despite all their horrors, it's Magneto's reminding him that, you know, we need you, Cyclops. Surviving or die. So, yeah, so he gives him a beer, and it's terrible, and they start talking about potential X-Men teams while looking at the depressing place. Meanwhile, Psylocke actually reminds Idol, who ends up feeling actually quite angry about this. I feel like Idol is going down perhaps down a road, a very dark road. I look forward to seeing how that pans out. But Psylocke reminds her that, you know, we're X-Men, we're a team. You need to stop thinking as one. You know, you convince Magic to go do this thing, and that's put us all in this sort of danger, even though it is what we X-Men do, because that's Idol's sort of argument. It's what we do. We help our own, you know. So back there, they're starting to talk about the factory and what was happening, and then obviously you can imagine the unthinkable happens. A wild Sentinel is born, and it is heading for town. Idol starts explaining what a wild Sentinel is, mainly because if you've been reading as long as I have, you will remember, I'll say this, the awful Schism storyline. I've thrown that out there. I do actually like Schism, sadly enough. In fact, I find it hard not to like any X-Men. Yeah, even Austin. I even like Austin's work. Schism happened, which was a big moment for Idol, which is why Wolverine does what he does, because Idol ends up killing some people. This wild Sentinel is born and heading towards the island. So the Wild Sentinel obviously takes different parts and recreates itself from the core and can keep doing it. So There was a nice, beautiful playing tribute to John Cassidy, who we lost this year. Tremendous talent, unfortunately. So the Sentinel was heading towards the town rather than Scott and Max, which they find a bit weird. I still find it hard calling him Max and not Eric. I still find I can't get my head around that. Why it's all of a sudden so important to call him Max. Maybe Eric Lencher isn't as cool. So they come flying in, ready to tackle him, and Scott says these things adapt, so I will maybe have 3 shots at it before my optic blasts are useless. So I need an opening. Townspeople are obviously scared, and then Scott says it. We're the X-Men. Nice and simple, strong, stern, exactly what you need. So Magneto manages to start breaching a hole in the Sentinel that allows Cyclops this moment to blast him and obviously destroy him. However, that turns into sort of this rust, and the core is powered down. I thought it was ice originally, to be fair. So Cyclops starts, starts talking rust. He's back to being who Cyclops is, and then Max starts losing control of his powers. And what we don't see on the pages is Cyclops has to blast him to knock him out. So apparently, after all their resurrection and life, that they could keep coming back to life, there is a side effect. Now that side effect is called resurrection-linked degenerative sickness. So it means your body was not meant to be resurrected like this. It is slowly turning on itself. You're losing your powers. You're losing control. Potentially, I guess you're going to die. I mean, it hasn't said that yet, but potentially we're going to die. So mutants throughout this, they're in a bad place. So Magneto says, he was only resurrected by the 5 once. How many times, Scott, were you resurrected? How many times was Quentin Quiro resurrected? Too many. Imagine he's a mega level power being released and losing control. So this is now telling us how concerning that this has been. And I love that it's been in the dark and just slowly sort of indicated that and then just released like this, which is great. We also get some good news that Piper Cobb, she is 100% sapient, and then we just get a nice moment sort of with her, and Idol says, you know what, when you're there, just look at me. I'll be in the place that I am, and I'll smile at you, and you've got a friend. Now, when the little girl goes to bed, you will see right here is her hand changes there. There is still something different about this young lady. We don't know what, we don't know how, but it will be revealed in the future, and I love that. I love that this wasn't just nothing, and it's something. And then you think this is the end of the page. It is not the end of the page, because we have McCoy speaking to Quentin, telling him not to touch his classic Avengers Quinjet. You are not using that to feed the Marauder and bring that back. And then, well, he's kidnapped. And that's the end of the issue. And then we get this page, which is Raid on Grey Malkin 4. So 4 chapters split between X-Men and Uncanny X-Men. I'm not going to read that because I don't want to spoil it for myself. I just want to read this. Now, I have mentioned that I don't think I was too impressed that they are going straight into an early event. I would have liked to see more friction between Scott and Rogue to lead to this, whatever this is. But anyway, it may not even be what I think it is. And it will be interesting to see. So anyway, hope you like my video. Please do support my channel by subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I really appreciate it. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace the geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.